Tangerine. Hello. We don't do intros anymore.
That's
We know
tang-
because you do
There's a technical
timestamp.
reason for it, but I like to think of other pretend reasons why we don't do intros anymore.
I liked when we had pretend conversations at the beginning of
Yeah,
Tangerine, which were sometimes real
yeah.
conversations. Like I was speaking to
But I,
I was speaking to my brother yesterday, and we talked for an hour
yeah.
about Star Trek. We
Oh
used
my
to talk
god, I
about
can't
Star
believe it.
Trek. Well, apparently,
I'm
my brother has watched
right.
TNG, Voyager,
Okay. Yeah.
Enterprise,
Yeah.
Picard. Um,
Okay.
what's the bad one called with that? What's his name? Michael or something?
Michael Burnham, Discovery.
Discovery. At Lower
Yeah.
Decks, the Orville,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
never seen DS9.
Okay.
There it is.
I'm a DS9er for life, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Well, I'm currently on season 7 of DS9, the final season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm almost ready to see some Neelix action in Voyager.
I can't wait
So
for you to see Linux.
I
I
can't
can't,
wait
but
to be
okay, this is
Neelix.
my I can't believe I finished watching all of Voyager
Hmm.
before watching DS9. And
Hmm.
I once I watched DS9, I punched myself because it's so much better than Voyager in my opinion.
Well, you know what is a masterpiece?
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, okay, the sequel.
You know how much I love Ori and the Blind Forest. I was
Yeah,
raving about playing. I was saying, God damn it, why didn't I play this in 2015? Because I was like, this will be my game of 2015.
you played it late. Yeah,
I think I played it a year later or something like that.
yeah.
Um,
Did you have it Dishonored as well? Or did you play that in the same year? I can't remember. There's
which
another
game?
game that Dishonored. Didn't you do like play that like a year later than you wanted
Yeah,
to?
yeah, something like that. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is fucking amazing. I have completed this game now. I 100% the save game file. I didn't 100% the achievements on Steam because there is some of those achievements where it's like complete this game without dying once, and I'm like, well, I just beat
Yeah,
the game. I don't really want to immediately go back and do hard mode challenges like that. But
yeah.
I have done collected all the collectibles and stuff, which I like to do in platformers. But this game is really good. It's again, it's fucking gorgeous. You know I love artsy platformers.
Yep.
Okay, let's make the Joe platformer checklist. Artsy, um,
Yep.
nature. Um,
Nature versus industry,
yeah,
or nature
yeah,
versus something evil.
yeah. Nature versus like corruption and fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, solid platforming. That's what I need.
Good animations. That's I
Yeah,
put that up there, but tight animations, I will say.
yeah. And Ori has all those. It is
Yeah.
amazing. It is really, really fucking cool. Um,
So I was told that this is like better than the original. Like, is that true?
it's been a while since I played Ori because I played the original back in 2016, I think it was. So that's what
Yeah.
5 years ago.
It's been a
Um,
while. It's been in development for a while, hasn't it? 'Cause, like it takes so long to make this game or make these types of games.
because this came out in 2020, I believe. It came out
Okay.
right like 11th of March 2020, so it's right near
Right.
the well, it was very close to the pandemic. So
Yeah.
luckily they got it out. I think this world is like, from what I remember, I think the Will of the Wisp, the world is way bigger than the original. Like it feels like everything's been scaled
Okay.
up, and everything's been, there's bigger budget because obviously
Yeah.
Moon Studios, I think they were working with Microsoft when it came out, but it feels like because of the success of The Blind Forest, they've got a way bigger budget from Microsoft. Like,
Yeah. They're allowed to like, get away with like asking for more time, more resources if you've proven yourself.
'cause I feel like with Moon Studios, they're sort of like an indie company, but they're like an indie company that has, because they're like, they have full
Yeah.
autonomy, but they're also backed by Microsoft. So it's like,
Yeah, I think these days they're still considered an indie company because because I guess technically they could find a different publisher, sort of.
hmm.
But yeah, I think they're still considered an indie company. Oh, look at that! It's beautiful.
I also love the story of this game. I was on the verge of emotional ruin playing this game because of just some of the
Really?
story beats of the game. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into
Okay.
them because we'll try and keep it spoiler free. But I remember there was a point in the game where I was like, no fucking, I was literally saying no fucking way, no fucking way. There's no way this is happening right now. Like,
Right.
but
Just really getting into it.
just to say, like, the story of this is really good. It's about the relationship between Ori, the forest spirit, and the owl cub that you find. I think you find
Right.
it from the first game, right? I think.
I don't know. I'm still yet to play any of these games.
Right.
And
Ah, you need to.
oh yeah. I definitely need to. There's many games I need to play though, and
Well, that's why I've been playing
I
all these
might start
games.
playing
Tony,
them
you need
this
a
year.
wheel. You
Yeah.
need a wheel.
Yeah, no, yeah. I might talk to you like maybe I'll talk to you like during a Tangerine, but I'm having plans to actually play games. But I need okay. I'm one of those people that needs to plan stuff out, otherwise I don't do anything.
Mm.
Like I'm kind of weird like that. I know other people are like, no. If I keep playing, I'll only plan. I'm like, I'm the exact opposite. Where if I don't plan, I just like default to doing something really mundane. So I'm planning. I'll say that.
The soundtrack's amazing again. I just think everything's like it's hard for
Oh,
me to
that's on the list, isn't it? Soundtrack.
mm,
That makes a good game. Soundtrack.
because I've it's hard to pinpoint where Ori's like excels because it excels sort of everywhere. Like
Well,
the
it has
art,
charm.
the
It all
platforming,
combines
the
together. Like it's
story,
like has charm and like emotional
soundtrack.
story beats. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I would say like because there's almost like this you're like rebuilding a village part of like in Ori it's much more a story about family and making your own family sort of thing from the people you meet.
Right.
Um,
Instead of blood
mm,
ties.
yeah, because they're already like sort of a mishmash family with the
Yeah.
owl and I don't even know what these creatures are called. The guy with the long legs and the big like
I don't.
fluffy guy, but they're all
Well,
charming
what is
character.
Ori? Well, what is Ori?
A spirit, like
Okay,
a
okay.
forest spirit.
Not Stitch.
No, no, like a
Okay.
ghost, like
A
Casper, a friendly ghost.
ghostly Stitch.
hmm like I think in this game it has underwater. There's like an entire underwater section, and I'm
Wait,
gonna say you,
is
Tony.
it
I
is it
like
good?
I like the underwater.
Oh my
It
god,
has
they've
good
done
underwater,
it.
which I feel
That's
like
good
in
to hear.
every platform I hate well in every game I hate underwater sections, but
Yeah,
the underwater music some of my favorite music in the game.
yeah. I was gonna say like I really like the idea of underwater, but most games like make the mechanics awful to play with. So it's
Throughout the
good to see.
game, coming back from the first game, you unlock the ability to buy upgrades, and one of the things that they is that you start out and you have to keep finding holes for air. But one of the things you can buy is the ability to infinitely breathe underwater, and I found like, oh, once I got that, like underwater was just really fun because the game
Yeah,
just allows you to change up the gameplay in ways that make it more enjoyable for you, and it's not just like clicking a button, it's like you earn them through playing, which I'm
yeah.
like, that's a really cool way to do it. It's almost like a Metroidvania should be like.
Yes,
There's certain
yeah,
areas you can't go to until you
yeah.
unlock an ability.
And I
I
guess if you get that ability, you can't like afford something else, right?
yeah, you'll have to.
So like it's up to you entirely, and it's like they like mechanically driven.
You go around and you kill enemies and you find these like light cells in order to buy upgrades. You can also buy
Right.
maps, so you can use maps to help you find collectibles. And there's also like life cells, where you basically if you find 2 life cells, it permanently upgrades how much life you have, and then you can find energy cells, which permanently upgrade how much energy you have.
Hang on, I'm gonna bring a Ratchet and Clank reference in. Wasn't that the original Ratchet and Clank system? Was like you'd like maybe Ratchet and Clank 2 or something, like you would like find a certain number of things that would level up your maximum health.
Or like nanotech.
Well, that's like healed, but I feel like there's something else that's like beyond nanotech that like if you collected just like 4 or something, it would like upgrade your maximum health.
Hmm.
I can't vaguely remember that. Also, what the hell's going on? Like it's like a very long cutscene.
This is literally the beginning of the game.
Okay, okay.
So you've repaired this owl's wing in order for it to fly. Because in the first game, you get like this magical feather from a giant bird in the first game.
Yeah.
And I think you find out it has a kid. I think this is the child, and you become friends with it, or something like that. I played the first one a long time ago, so I'm like struggling to remember the story. But basically, you one of the upgrades you get in the Metroidvania is this magical feather that lets you glide, which I love gliding. I don't think there's a game with bad gliding in it. That's another thing I've noticed.
I think that's correct. Yeah, I can't think of one anyway.
But yeah, you get the glider, and then you basically use like stitch it back onto the owl to let him fly again. But then you get caught up in a storm, and you get separated, and the core story is you trying to get back to your friend in order to help them fly again. And so that the idea is that you had the feather from the first game, you could fly, but now you've lost all of your powers, sort of thing. So you have to start again, and there's this dark corruption spreading. I think I can show you like the wolf that you go and fight. Because there's like entire sections where it's like completely dark, and there's this whole mechanic where you need to set off like these bug creatures that have lights in them in order to traverse through it. And I'm thinking, man, if I have to come back here and do this again, it's going to be really annoying to get collectibles. But they don't do this thing where they're like, oh, you have to redo the entire thing moving slowly with the bugs. You'll then get an ability to create this flash of light around you, and it means that you no longer just randomly die to the darkness. Like, they thought about the replayability of going back to areas, which I think is like a really good thing that they did.
So once you play the area, like it makes it easier or different for the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
There does come a point where you need to slay certain bosses in the game. And basically, you can go and face them in any order because it's quite open-ended in that way. And one complaint that I have, that I think that some other people have, the closest one to you where you get the quest is one of the hardest in the game. And so you don't really have like a lot of life to fight it. And I remember like getting really frustrated, like just doing it over and over again. But I did eventually like overcome that and beat it, but it was like a lot harder than the other bosses where I had like more health and more like resources because I've explored more.
Yeah.
So I think like my only like note would be maybe put a obstacle in that way so you have to do that boss later. But again, that would be taking away player choice.
What was the obstacle that was like skill based, where like, you could still get around it, but
I think
it's,
like
encourage you to go a different way.
I mean, it's like it would almost be opinion that I think that boss is the hardest because other people said they thought it was hard as well. But there is some other hard bosses sort of thing. But I would say like you probably want to face
maybe
like the spider.
Didn't find it that hard. Maybe everyone else finds it difficult.
Because I found some bosses because like that boss, I think I'd need to look up like a guide on how to face it. Because I was like, oh, this is really fucking hard. I don't know. Like once I was like almost raging fighting it because I was like, what the hell? And then it was looking up a guide, and somebody was saying like, yeah, I faced this as the first boss. You're probably not supposed to face this as the first boss, even though it's very close to where you get the quest. But other than that, I think like the general gameplay, the story, the animation, everything is just perfect.
Perfect game.
It's a perfect game. It is a 10 out of 10, baby. Super Mario Brothers 2, baby.
yeah. I'd say that it's good to watch as well, right? Because like good sound, good music, good animations.
Let's have a look.
Good visuals.
So to 100% the 100% the game file, Steam's telling me it was about 22.9 hours.
Really? Okay, that's a good amount.
I try and like play games only when I'm playing games because I'm conscious not to try not to leave my game running so it thinks I'm playing the game.
Yeah,
sometimes I do.
I think that's I hate when it counts the time like I'm idle. Like, oh no, I wish I closed the game. I like
because I like knowing how much time I put into games.
Yeah,
which is
I don't want to know like how long I've gone to the toilet for. Like, I don't care about that. Yeah, I do like wanting to keep it as accurate as possible.
I'd say Ori is like
different colors.
it is a Metroidvania game. It is more focused on like combat and like platforming than other platformer games can be, like 3D collectathon sort of games. So there will be more fighting in this game than you may be used to other platformer games if you've never played an Ori game before. But if you've never played, I would recommend start at Blind Forest and then move on to Will of the Wisps, because both of these games are amazing Metroidvania games and genuinely some of my favorite games I've played of all time. So definitely check out these games. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot recommend it highly enough. I need to do a teaser of me fighting this giant fucking wolf.
Oh my god. I mean, it looks great as well. Look at it. It's beautiful.
A lot of these boss sections, you'll have like a running section where you have to like keep running away. Like it's a platform skill section, and then it'll go into like a boss fight, and that's sort of the general setup for the boss fight, which I think is cool, where it has this mix between long platforming and then long combat.
We used to see that a lot more with like different stages of bosses, where like you would like go from like a fighting stage to some other stage to then fighting again. But like, I feel like we're losing mechanics of bosses over time. But no, it's good to see that old mechanic.
That old chestnut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd highly recommend it, Tony, even to you.
Yeah. It's on my list of games I really want to play. It's just the thing is though, like I'm not like, I feel like I need to be in like a specific mood for these types of games. Like I feel like you could just like play any game, like these sort of games anytime.
Well, one thing I will mention before we move on, because I feel like with Metroidvania games, I feel like if I'm gonna sit down and play a Metroidvania game, especially, is you need to understand the mechanics, because you need to go, this item lets me get to here so I can do this, because I found in the past, like, playing Metroidvania games and then putting them down and then coming back to them after like a couple of months, I forget everything of what I was doing. And you can find it really hard to get back into them if they don't have like very good map systems or returning player tutorial sort of stuff that you can use.
Or tooltips that just really help you explain what the hell's going on.
But I recommend, if you were going to play this game, try and play it like relatively.
Make it your primary game for like the week or so. Yeah. For sure.
Cool. So this is how you get abilities. You like beat bosses and discover them in the world, and embed you with new abilities. So you'll get like double jump, triple jumps, dashes, all the good stuff that you want in a platformer. So yeah, check this one out. Next up, Tony, I've been playing Superliminal.
Wait, this isn't normal Superliminal.
This is Superliminal Battle Royale. I think I talked about this. I talked about this trailer on the podcast, and I was like, "What the? This just came out of left field. Where the fuck did Superliminal Battle Royale come from?" But after
I think I might have been more confused than you, and I think I was still confused until I'm still confused until like seeing this. I guess I'll say that. How about
someone who's played it? I gotta say, Superliminal Battle Royale is super good and it's super fun. I wasn't expecting it to be so good, because normally what happens these days is I feel like a lot of Battle Royale games are quite cynical in the way they're made, where somebody goes, "Oh, this is a popular trend. Let's just knock one of these out very cheaply.
How can we monetize it?"
Superliminal Battle Royale is a really interesting game mode that happens to be a Battle Royale game, is how I would describe it.
Right.
But I'll just go into Superliminal as a whole, but as well, because this was the gameplay. I was like, this will be the most interesting thing to watch, I think.
Okay.
So I'll just talk
without spoilers or anything.
Superliminal itself. So the whole reason I checked it out again was because they added multiplayer and co-op to Superliminal, and I've been wanting to play Superliminal for a long time, but I knew that some of my other friends were interested in it. I was like, okay, I will play the game with you, because you can now play the entire single-player campaign through in co-op. And from playing the Superliminal campaign in co-op, it is not designed to be played that way at all. I would say it is not a good experience. I think the campaign single player is really fun, and I would really recommend it. But it's
very short though.
Through playing in co-op, it was very buggy, and like it clearly is not designed for multiple people to be able to pick up multiple things at the same time. And you can almost like cheat a lot of the puzzles, like accidentally.
Right.
and also playing with some friends. One of my friends was very good at puzzles, so I felt like he was constantly ahead of me. But then one of my other friends was not very good at puzzles, and or like they're not very good with games, right? And
Yeah.
they were like constantly behind me, so I felt like I was in the middle. I was being dragged forward by one friend and then dragged back by another. And the game's also
Right.
not designed to be played like this. And I felt like overall it wasn't a great experience, like playing it that way. But I still had fun playing like the experience of Superliminal.
Okay.
Like the
I
camp,
would definitely recommend Superliminal as a single player, but
yeah.
I just know that it is very short, so like
I
save for it.
I would say like if you want to play Superliminal with friends, try out the Battle Royale game mode. It is
Yeah.
so fun.
This looks. I was just saying these maps are like these are like reused maps. Like some of
These
these are like
maps
completely new
don't. These
assets.
yeah. Some of these maps they don't exist in the single player. They literally they made
And
content just for the battle royale, and I love
look
the
how
idea
fun this
of
looks as well.
and because you can do all this stuff in co-op where you can like grief your friends, and it's like it gets annoying, but it makes perfect sense in the battle royale game mode where you can like grief opponents in order to try and get to the end faster than them.
Yeah, did you make someone massive at one point, or was that
Yeah, I made him
was that
really
a part of
big.
the?
No, so you can pick up if you keep targeting your opponent, you can pick them up and you can place them behind you, or you can
Great.
make them really big so they can't fit through a door. And
Okay.
basically, everyone's trying to get to the elevator at the end, and every single room is procedurally generated with a random puzzle room, and you have to figure out the puzzle.
It's like be like a little timer to like grab someone where you don't get on normal items, right? Is that what I'm
Yeah, so
seeing?
in order to grab somebody, you can't just click on to grab them. You have to have
Yeah.
eyesight with them, and you have to hover over them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And if you
Which
see
balances the mechanic.
if you see these alarm clocks, these also give you power-ups. So there's power-ups that stop you from being targeted. There's some that will give you like hoverboards that will let you run faster. So when I'm getting a red circle behind me, it means somebody's targeting you. So the game will tell you when somebody's trying to pick you up.
Yeah.
But it's really funny when you're like, oh, we all need to build stairs with these giant pieces of cheese, but then somebody else, I'm trying to use somebody else's piece of cheese, and then somebody else is removing that cheese to troll other people.
Yeah. Well, if I get other games, like maybe really annoying, but like I feel like the way this game works, like it would actually make it more fun. Because it's just such a mind-bending game that just makes it funny.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Because the actual base game of Superliminal is I would say it's like an hour to 2 hours long. The campaign,
Yeah.
like it is very very short.
Well, it's like Boomerang X, like so. Like, wait, it's over?
Yeah, I want to play more, but there's just not anymore.
Yeah.
But
I
have
want to make more maps.
I have 16 hours in Superliminal, and you're like, well, you said it was 2 hours long, and it's not. It's not just replaying it over and over again. There's workshop support, which I'm always saying, Tony. I practice what I preach. If you put workshop support in your game, I will play the fuck out of the workshop because I love playing people's custom-made maps. And
make a good map creator as well.
And I can say
time,
Superliminal has that sort of Portal feel to it, where I can just load up.
Cheeses are huge.
I can just load up a bunch of community-made maps and have an incredibly good time. It's like I can just play a bunch of like short little puzzles, and I understand the basic mechanics of most of them, and I won't get too frustrated, which I feel like I can get with some puzzle games. But I feel like mechanics of Superliminal are designed in a way where most of the time I go into a custom map and I come out of it satisfied, going, "That was a good map," sort of thing.
I feel like
I didn't feel cheated out of it.
Yeah, I've seen this a couple of bad ones.
Yeah, there's a couple I've played, but like I've played through like I have like a list of favorites. If anyone were to say, hey, is there any maps I should check out, I could send them a list of favorite maps, say here's like 10 to 20 maps that I would definitely check out, and say, yeah, these are really like fun workshop maps to play. Like because whenever I play a map, I usually I'll like the ones I like, I'll favorite the ones I think are really good, and then I'll comment on it saying, hey, I like this map, or I'll comment on a map and go, hey, there was a bug here, or I think this part was confusing, maybe you could change this. Like generally just trying to help out the community. I feel like as someone who's not creating content, your job, if you enjoy this sort of thing, should be to try and improve the content that already exists, or to help the creators of the content. because it's
and
only...
encourage the creators as well,
Yeah.
because like it's a thankless job otherwise.
Yeah, I always try and leave a comment on someone's thing. If there's no comment, I'll try and leave like just a couple words of encouragement or like an
because it does help a lot.
So,
Like just randomly getting like, oh, I really like this, or like I like this, but like this, like I feel like I was a bit confused here, but other than that, it was really good.
yeah.
Like, I think it's an interaction that like really helps like your self-esteem and like makes you want to make more stuff, which only benefits everyone really.
Because they are still developing for, because they literally a couple of days ago just added more battle royale maps.
Right.
And I hope this means
I want
that
more single player maps.
Well, I'm saying I hope this means that they're looking at this and going, well, maybe we can add more tools to the more tools to the workshop, because it's a bit limited at the moment. There's a certain amount of tiles. You can import custom models, but I would like to see them add more stuff to it. And I would also love, because apparently at the moment, workshop maps are single player only. But I'm saying, like, I think the co-op mode in this doesn't work because the game's not designed for co-op.
Yeah.
But if you added the ability to make workshop maps co-op, people could specifically design the maps to be played in co-op, which I think would be the game changer there, where it could be really good. Amazing. So like I think they should. For me personally, I would say what I would want is for them to basically make a co-op update where they go, hey, we've redesigned the editor for co-op. Here's maybe a couple we've made just to show you how it works, or like a couple more, like a small co-op campaign they make, maybe just a couple of levels, just to go, hey.
It's like a co-op showcase in a way.
And then give people the ability to play workshop co-op maps. Because then this could be the level of Portal 2 where I just go on the workshop of Portal 2, I play a couple of custom maps in single player, and then I find some co-op ones and I play some custom ones with friends. At the moment, I've got a load of content out of this just by playing the workshop single player. But if they ever add co-op workshop, then I think Superliminal could be like in my list of games I just hop on and just play the workshop for, because it adds so much more content to the game. But yeah. What do you think of this game, Tony? We did a spotlight on this, I think.
Yeah, I think we did. I was gonna I personally I still want to see like more single player stuff, because I still like the surreal story they had going on, like just like mind bending stuff. But this does look very fun, and would you say
I was surprised
it's way more fun than it should be?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was literally like, oh, I'm gonna wait for my friends to come on. I'm just gonna put on the battle royale. And it's like, because for the co-op you can get custom, like you see like the glasses and the mustache and the hats and stuff. By playing this, you can unlock cosmetics. So I was like, oh, I'll just unlock a couple of cosmetics so I can have a hat in the co-op mode.
Yeah.
And I just started playing this. I was like, this is so much fun. I was just playing this for hours. It's just like when you can find a lobby, because I just queued into someone's random lobby and people started joining, like, and you don't need that many people to play. Like, you could play with a couple of friends, or this was me. Literally, I don't know anyone in this lobby. I'm just playing with random people. So just to go show you, there is people playing this, and all you need is a couple of people to actually play on it. Yeah. You see there, I was using a mechanic of completing the cube in the sky in order to get a cube in order to get up here, which is a great mechanic.
Good, actually check out. No, yeah, this is like, if it's not something like I don't think I would play, but like I appreciate that it exists. Like it's a fun. I hope they at least had fun making this like game mode, because like it looks like a lot of fun and thought was put into it.
But yeah, check us out next time when we talk about next games, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.